Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. We're back here in the chambers at the City of Tempe for the first hearing of the month of the City of Tempe Hearing Officer. My name is Vanessa McDonald, and I am the hearing officer. I have something I'd like to read into the record, and then we'll go ahead and jump into our agenda this afternoon. The City of Tempe Hearing Officer is authorized by Arizona Revised Statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer has the duty to carry out both the provisions and the intent of the Zoning and Development Code and the Tempe City Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatement of code violations occurring on properties within the City of Tempe. These violations include, but aren't limited to, deteriorated landscaping, inoperable vehicles, deteriorated structures, or refuse, or deteriorated swimming pools. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain their voluntary compliance with the code. The hearing officer may issue an order directing the owner, occupant, rental agent, property manager, or other responsible person to abate a code violation or to authorize the city to abate the condition. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurred and may be collected as an assessment against the property found to be in violation. On today's modified agenda, we have 4 items. We have 3 property abatements and a set of minutes this afternoon. Any property owner who's aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. As such, the deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3 p.m. on November 16th, 2021. The property owner has 14 days to either file an appeal or bring the property into code compliance. If neither of these things happen within this 14-day window, the property will go ahead and be abated by the city. Joining me this afternoon from Community Development are Shelby Meyer to my left and Drew Yoakum to my right. They're assisting me this afternoon with technology. So now we can go ahead and jump into our agenda. As I mentioned, we have a set of minutes. They're from the meeting of October 19th, 2021. I had a chance to review them in my package, or in my packet, and I believe that they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the minutes for October 19th, 2021. And thank you, Shelby, for those minutes. So the first item on our agenda this afternoon is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Picard Brown property. This property is located at 1464 East McNair Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this afternoon by Code Compliance Inspector Julie Schofield. Ms.
Good
Schofield,
afternoon,
good
Madam.
to see you.
Yes, you too, Madam Hearing Officer. Julie Schofield, City of Tempe Code Inspector. I'm here to ask for a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 1464 East McNair Drive. The complaint originally came to me, in June 21st of 2021, and the complaint was for overheight grass and weeds, deteriorated landscaping, lawn parking, and a deteriorated swimming pool. When I went to the property on June 22nd, 2021, the pool in the backyard was green, and there was some landscaping issues in the backyard with overheight grass and weeds and a smaller amount of grass and weeds growing through a gravel landscaping in the front yard. Have mailed a couple of notices, including a final notice back in July, and I ended up issuing a citation July 22nd of 2021 for the green pool and also for the landscaping issues. During this case, there has been no communication with the owner. I have received 2 complaints for this property, and the citation, when it was issued, the property owner went ahead and paid for the citations but did not immediately bring the property into compliance. So I do have some pictures to show you that were taken earlier this morning, and I will start.
Thank you.
This is, I always take a picture of the front of the property, just so you know the property in question. And as you can see, there's a small amount of grass and weeds in the front yard of the property. This is the west side of the property in the front yard, and it's not too bad. He did a lot of it for some reason, but he left some of it as well. So this is the front yard pile of grass and weeds. Now, the more of the problem would be the backyard landscaping. As you can see, there's a lot of tall weeds and growing through their tall grass. And then the pool is a little bit clearer, but it still has a green tint. So I would like to include that in my abatement as well, just in the event that it gets worse or it doesn't get any clearer in the next 180 days.
Yeah, pools like that, they teeter on the edge of always having algae. So
Yeah. And it is clear, like I said, but you never know, being here in Arizona with the heat and whatnot, what might grow in there. And this is just a close-up of some of the backyard weeds that are still currently there. So as stated, I'd like to ask for a 180-day open abatement for the landscaping, front and backyard, and also for the green pool if necessary.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Yocum, do we have anyone on the line wanting to speak on this agenda item, either the property owner or a member of the public?
No, Madam Hearing Officer, we've not received any communication at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I agree with your assessment, and unfortunately, the property owner has just not been responsive to any of, your numerous efforts to try and get voluntary compliance. So I really don't have a choice, I don't think, other than to grant your 180-day open abatement request contained in CE 213837.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. The next item on our agenda is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Ralston property. This property is located at 1310 West 5th Street. Again, the applicant is the City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Inspector Andres Lara Reyes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Andres Lara Reyes. I'm a co-inspector for the City of Tempe Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening to request an 180-day abatement, open abatement for the property at 1310 West 5th Street, Tempe, Arizona, FI281. This case was initiated on April 21st, 2021. Complaint came in for junk and debris in the front and back of the property, and also as a auto home occupation in the backyard towards the alley of the property. That's the north parking lot area. This case was initiated by a public complaint. I have had communication with two persons that are in charge of the property, a gentleman named Chase and another gentleman, Cole. I believe they are the owner's grandsons. The owner, Charles Ralston, I believe, is deceased.
Okay.
And I also met Chase at the property on April 22nd, 2021. I explained the the violations for the trash and debris and the vehicles being worked on in the north side parking lot area. And I stated that I will be issuing a correction notice at the time. He stated that he was going to take care of this issue within the 2 weeks allowed. But then I went back a couple of more times on May 10th, to be exact, and there were no improvements made. So it was just as bad: trash, litter, debris, vehicle parts, vehicle tires, some engine blocks and parts, in the north parking lot area, and there were also many vehicles being worked on, at least 3 or 4. I issued a final notice at that time. Then I re-inspected on May 25th, 2021. The front yard area was clean. There were vehicle parts and stuff still in the north parking lot area. At this time, I posted a door hanger to the property, asking them to correct the violations by June 1st to avoid a citation. And fortunately, they didn't take care of it, so I issued a citation for trash, litter, and debris and inoperable vehicles at the property. I went back on July 7th, and there were still no improvements to the property.
Have you had any communication with them other than that first time when they said, we'll take care
Yes,
of
I
it?
had. As a matter of fact, I met the other gentleman called on July 27, 2021, outside the property, explained the violations again, and he reassured me that they were going to take care of it right away. So,
And here we are 3 months later.
yeah, and so we keep going back and forth. They did clean the lot, and there were no vehicles being worked on August the 3rd, 2021. But then we received on the beginning of September, we received a couple more complaints of junk and debris and working on vehicles again. So I went ahead and issued a second citation. Then we received another complaint on September 29th for again junk and debris throughout the site. And as of this morning, there has been no signs of improvement to the property. So I'll go ahead and show the bottom picture there is, as of this morning, the kind of like the front yard on 5th Street. This is kind of like a duplex
Right.
type of property. And the top here is part of the backyard, north parking lot area. See towards the back there, there's a lot of trash and debris. There's also right next to that pickup truck, there's a vehicle that appears to be wrecked. It's being worked on. There's a lot of trash and debris towards the back of that area. And a couple of more vehicles here, another vehicle that appears to be wrecked also and being worked on, then some vehicle tires, and quite a few vehicles being worked on, at least like 5, counted like 5 as of this morning. And I haven't had any contact, so
So what happens to the vehicles? I mean, if they're being repaired, they're not the property of the owner. Do you clean up around them, or do you tow them?
we do have the ability to tow them if we decide to at the time of the abatement. And hopefully it doesn't come to that. But yeah, we will be towing those
Yeah.
vehicles, even though they're not the owners.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly the guy or guys are running an auto body shop.
Yeah, they're running
out
some
of-
kind of, yeah.
out of this house. They're
Right.
not, obviously in the zoning district that they're in, they're not authorized to do that. They're not screening it. They're making no attempt at
Yeah.
hiding.
And they've
any
been
of their-
notified personally and in writing, yes.
Right. Okay, Mr. Yocum, do we have any members of the public wanting to speak on this agenda item?
No, Madam Hearing Officer, we've not received any communication.
Okay, thank you. Well, I mean, the pictures speak for themselves. It's pretty much a mess and has been continuously since April, and I think they've been given ample time to clean
Yeah.
up the property, and they've promised you one thing and they've not done it.
Yeah.
So I believe that you absolutely should have the 180-day open abatement request that you're seeking for the property at 1310 West 5th Street contained in CE 212610. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Your officer, have a good evening.
You too. Next item on our agenda is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Nauruz LP property. This is located at 405 West University Drive. Again, the applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this evening by Code Inspector Michael Glab. Hi.
Good evening, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Michael Glab. I'm a Compliance Inspector for the City of Tempe's Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening to request an abatement for the property located at 405 West University Drive in Tempe, Arizona, 85281. This case was initiated on July 14th of this year for graffiti. At least 3 complaints have been received by my office related to this property. I've had no face-to-face or verbal contact with anyone associated with the property. On July 14th of 2021, my office received a complaint related to this property. I visited the property and confirmed a violation of city code related to graffiti was present. I then mailed a violation notice to the property owners requesting that the violation be remedied. On July 28th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed a violation of city code related to the graffiti was still present. I then mailed a second notice to the property owners requesting that the violation be remedied. On July 29th of 2021, my office received the second complaint related to the graffiti on the property. On August 11th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed a violation of city code related to the graffiti had remained. I found an additional mailing address for the owner as well as an email address. I then mailed a notice to the property owner's new address requesting that the violation be remedied, as well as attaching a copy of the notice to the email address. On August 25th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed that the violation of city code related to the graffiti remained. I then phoned the property management company that was associated with the leasing of the building. Their posters were within the window, but I received no response. On September 9th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed that the violation of graffiti remained. I then phoned the property management company once more, but received, again, no response. On September 16th of 2021, my office received the third complaint related to the graffiti. And on October 1st of 2021, I then submitted an abatement packet for addition to tonight's hearing agenda. Additionally, last week, I did receive a voicemail message from a neighboring property owner who wanted to discuss the state of this property. So that would make at least 4 different complaints related to this property. At this time, I would now like to present photos taken today of the existing violations.
Okay.
And this photograph is taken of the west side of the building and shows graffiti on all of the windows that face the west side of the property. And as you can see, the property management SVN is in the window itself there.
Mm-hmm. And even more graffiti's been added since the picture in the packet, yeah.
That is correct. It's only worsened since time's gone on. And this photograph is taken of the north side of the building. And again, there's 2 SVN signs that are present in the windows. And again, after multiple attempts to reach the leasing company and the owners, no response.
Okay.
As stated before, I'm seeking an abatement for the addressing of the graffiti located at this property at 405 West University Drive in Tempe, Arizona. As a result of the graffiti worsening over the course of the last 3 months, I'm seeking a 180-day open abatement window for the potential that the graffiti does return after it's cleaned up.
Okay. Thanks. The little bit that I know about graffiti is sometimes the minute you remove it, it can come back.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Yoakum, is there anyone on the line wanting to speak about this?
No, Madam Hearing Officer. We've not received any communication.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I share the frustration that all of the neighbors who have complained have regarding this property. It's just mystifying to me that a property management company would have active leasing signs for a property that looks so bad. So I agree with your assessment and agree that you do need the 180-day open abatement for this property at 405 West University contained in CM 210909. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. Have a good evening.
You too. So that's it for the agenda this afternoon, correct? Okay, great. Any announcements from staff?
Yes, just one. The next hearing officer meeting will be scheduled on November 16th at 5 p.m. That will be here in the Tempe City Council chambers, as well as on Tempe 11 and Tempe WebEx.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, thank you guys. Glad to be back, and we're adjourned.